Meet 19.
Anyway, back to the B-plot. Right about now, Jade should be wrapping up her political presentation to Roxy and Calliope, using a lot more graphs and far fewer words than Dave did when roping her into the election. Her approach is definitely more heady, but it's also more accessible. Jade's got this disarming combo of head-in-the-clouds flightiness and the kind of legit down-to-earth cred that can only be earned by having done something like cutting open your own grandfather and stuffing him full of polyurethane foam.
So, you see Jane's neoliberal austerity measures.
Roxy groans upon hearing the phrase neoliberal austerity measures for no less than the third time in this presentation.
As I outlined here in Graph B2, and here in Figure A6, and here in this very spooky drawing I dictated to Callie, great drawing by the way, will no doubt lead to a whole bunch of ugly societal backlashes. Not just in economic terms, but on a number of other more serious vertices that we've been lucky enough to avoid on New Earth so far.
You don't say.
I do say! The thing is that Jane is an establishment leader. She's looking at doing things the way our old universes did them. She's pretty convinced that she's going to be able to replicate the capitalist hierarchies that Earth had, but in a more responsible way. But none of that stuff actually worked.
And do you think Karkat can do better?
I think it's worth it to give him a chance. He's a leader of the people, and he's experienced firsthand what happens when establishment goes too far. Which I imagine you can sympathize with.
Jade takes a deep breath, panting a little. Her graphs are floating around the living room in disarray. She spins them around her, gliding her hands through the air like a conductor before folding the pages together and shrinking them to pocket size.
And that's my pitch.
Roxy and Calliope exchange a look.
I'm going to get us tea and snacks. Would you like some, Jade?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Any preference?
Pumpkin matcha if you have it.
Of course. I'll be right back.
Calliope excuses herself from the conversation and flees to the kitchen, seemingly making no attempt to disguise the fact that she is in fact fleeing. Jade deflates as she watches her go, sensing that her presentation wasn't the slam dunk she was hoping for.
So, what do you think?
Well, I gotta say, this has been a hella convincing argument all in all. But IDK if I can help you out.
What? Why not?
Roxy presses her lips together, then bounces her palms on her knees. Her gaze slides east, right out the window. She and Calliope live in a belfry above New Prospect. One end of their living room is an oriel window that looks out over a public park. The other disappears into an arcading hallway lit at the far end by a giant stained glass window that Calliope made herself. The corbels supporting it have windy, abstract shapes carved into them. This room reminds Jade of her childhood home, except that it's bright and warm, and not inhabited in all corners by corpses and ghosts. That's why she can't settle down. That's what keeps Jade Harley flitting from couch to couch, relationship to relationship. She can't stop thinking to herself that home comes awfully close to rhyming with alone. Home is John, who doesn't call anymore. Home is when Rose and Kanaya welcome her in from a cold night and help her set lyrics to her sick bass lines. Home is here, snorting at Roxy's irreverent method of storytelling and admiring Callie's art. Home is Dave and Karkat. Especially Dave and Karkat. Jade knows that this election is important for a number of reasons, but let's not mistake her enthusiasm for some kind of humanistic altruism. Girl's got personal reasons for doing all this. Jade drifts down to sit cross-legged on the couch beside Roxy. She stares at her with a doggish expression, eyes wide, head lolling to the side, until she gets an answer.
I just don't really care about politics that much, I guess.
Roxy turns to face Jade again, smiling apologetically.
Also, this election is all kinds of personal. I mean, if I came into your house and asked you to make some grand political whatever against your BFF, would you be all, oh yeah, totes, sign me the fuck up? I am alls about the sowing of discord among my childhood friends.
Let me guess. Dirk got to you first?
Not even. I got no problem telling Dirk where to stick it, Lamau. But Dirk's not the one running.
You think he's not the one pulling the strings behind the scenes?
Sure, but give Janie a little credit. She's got more moxie and ambition in her pinky than the rest of us got all together. She's been planning this for years. But she's,
Ruthless.
Roxy frowns. Jade is being pretty unfair.
Fragile. She's gotta be Miss Perfect all the time for the billboards and press meetings, always wearing those power suits, trying to look like a big bad bitch.
You mean like the Condes?
Wow. Ouch.
I'm not just imagining it though, right? You see it too! Not to dredge up something horrible from your history, but her whole image is just kinda...
Is that what you guys think? You and Dave and Carcat?
Well... yeah.
Roxy leans forward and stares Jade down, like she's searching for something behind Jade's eyes. Jade unwittingly responds in kind, looking for meaning behind Roxy's gaze, but she comes up empty. And to be honest, so do I. In the spirit of full disclosure, Roxy's the only one left I haven't been able to crack. Her mind remains a total enigma to me, just like it always has. If I had to guess, it's her void powers that make her invisible, even to increasingly omniscient parties such as myself. For all intents and purposes, it's like her thoughts don't exist. She's the same person, as far as I can tell. She still wears her heart on her sleeve. But the bottom line remains. Roxy Lalonde is still utterly fucking inscrutable.
Well, Jane's not perfect.
Roxy shrugs and runs a hand through her hair, which has been recently cut shorter than usual.
And I don't know if she'll be a good president, but she's not Betty Crocker. And I love her, and I don't want to hurt her feelings. That's pretty much all there is to say on the matter.
Calliope returns from the kitchen with 3 cups, a handmade teapot, and some candied cakes. Jade finally relents.
Fine. I understand. Callie, what about you?
Calliope sets down the snacks and brushes Jade's skirt aside so she can sit down. She puts a claw to her mouth and makes a facial expression more complicated than you'd think a skull would be capable of.
Oh, I'd rather stay uninvolved, thank you.
Aw.
I feel like interfering in both politics and a personal argument between my friends would be impolite as well as kind of stressful, to be honest.
Yeah. Sorry, Callie. I probably shouldn't have put all that on you.
Less apologizing, more snacking.
Calliope claps her hands together. It's a bright noise. Her tone of voice is bright too. All these years, and she still can't believe that she has so many friends. She smiles at Jade, and Jade smiles back. The tea tastes great. The cakes are even better. Callie's an artist in everything she does.
Wow, Callie, you're such an amazing hostess! Roxy, you're so lucky to have her!
Roxy giggles, awkwardly. She gives Jade a gentle jostle, an elbow to the ribs, and lowers her voice.
Psst. Not her. Them.
Oh.
Jade tenses up and pales, turns a wide-eyed look to Calliope, who is still smiling politely. She realizes, a bit too late, the profoundly insensitive nature of her social misstep.
Oh!
She grabs one of Calliope's hands.
Oh, wow! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be, culturally insensitive. Have I just been stupidly calling you a girl for years like a big fat dummy? Oh no, I'm such an asshole!
You are absolutely not an asshole. I didn't mind being called a girl. I still don't really mind. It's just not exactly accurate. But I did take comfort in being a girl for a very long time. This is something I've only recently decided.
Yeah.
Roxy pauses, even though the lilt of her voice makes the sentence sound unfinished. She stutters the next part out.
Me too, actually.
You?
Oh yeah. We are both a they household now. Package deal thing. Things are non-binary as fuck around here.
Wait. What?
Really?
Yep. Well, I mean, that's probably a dumb and bad way to say it. Don't tell anyone I said it that way. Awful. But, yeah. That's about what's going on.
Roxy? Seriously? Like I said, fucking inscrutable. I never would have guessed. Not that I've spent much time contemplating issues related to gender. I'm pretty secure in my expression of masculinity and... You know what? Fuck this. I don't owe anyone an explanation of any sort on this topic. I'm confident with who I am, what I am, my gender, as well as my understanding of the concept. You want my honest opinion? It's fucking fantastic. Good for them. Both of them, I mean. But also, both of them in a singular fashion, since each one can now individually be referred to by the conventionally plural word, them. I'm ecstatic for this personal development they've embraced, for the people they are, the lack of gender they identify with, and the pronouns they prefer. I've got no problem with it whatsoever, and frankly, it's fucking insulting anyone would ever imagine otherwise. So yeah, I'm gonna allow it. Carry on.
Wow. That felt good to say out loud. Man. Hell of a way to come out.
It's okay. I don't want to make you uncomfortable.
I know.
But I am curious. If you need to talk about it, I mean.
Maybe. Callie and I have been talking about it a lot. Unpacking all kind of baggage with their alien stuff and my human stuff. And so I got to thinking, what even is gender? Am I right?
Oh, yeah. That makes sense, I guess.
Jade looks at where her hands are folded in her lap, bites her lip. She has her own concerns about this, her own thoughts. Reasonable thoughts, I'd say, but I'll refrain from any further comment. I'm staying away from this subject from now on.
So you're, not doing gender anymore?
Yeah, I guess not. LMFAO. I mean, that was all stuff from our old universe. Why do we even bring it here, right?
Right.
Calliope takes a tea cake between two of her claws and eats it delicately, hyper-aware of the horrible gnashing and snapping her powerful jaw is capable of.
My ideas about gender.
Shit! Between two of their claws. They take a tea cake between two of their claws and eats it delicately. Sorry. My bad.
Were entirely influenced by my time watching Earth. I suppose I only thought of myself as a girl because my brother took masculinity quite seriously. By which I mean he became very enthusiastic about all the things it supposedly meant to be a boy. Cherub existence is dichotomous, but not in the same way human biology is. I suppose our view of human culture indirectly influenced Alternia's development, which in turn affected yours, which is something I've had a lot of time to think about since we came here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, when you think about it, so much of what Earthsea thinks what boys and girls should do comes straight from the imagination of a bunch of dumb teens. Which is totally fucked.
Sure.
Jade nods quite thoughtfully. She'd be a doggy's fucking uncle if she wasn't gonna come across woke as hell about all this. Truthfully, though, it was making sense to her. Eye-opening, really. Why hadn't anyone told her this was even an option when she was younger? She probably would have loved being a they when she was a teen.
I mean, what am I gonna do? Get married and pop out 100 babies?
No?
Exactly. I mean, once upon a time, I guess I thought about that, but I don't think it's what I really wanted. I just like the idea of me and Dirk making some smart-ass, awesome kids together. Because I liked the idea of Dirk. And also, literally no one else on the entire planet was alive at the time. But we had some babies without even being consulted about it anyway, so whatever.
Your kids are pretty cool.
I know, right?
Personally, I'm a big fan.
And like that, Jade's smiling again. The storm clouds pass so quickly in her world, you almost wouldn't have thought there was anything wrong at all. Roxy and Calliope certainly didn't notice. But there is something wrong. And this time, they'll notice. Jade drops her tea. The cup hits the floor and shatters.
Jade?
She takes in a sharp breath. She's not feeling well suddenly. She's dizzy, feverish, seeing things beyond her field of vision. A blinding flash of light. A black, perfect circle, burning a hole in her eyes. She tries to stand, but her knees wobble and knock together. Roxy shoots out of her seat and catches her before she hits the floor.
Is she okay?
I don't know. Get a cloth in the kitchen and some water.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Roxy eases Jade onto the couch and checks her pulse. She doesn't look bad at all. Jade wears unconsciousness well, having spent the better part of her life napping. Roxy slaps her cheeks lightly and says her name, begs her to wake up. But she can't hear her. Jade is somewhere else right now.